Oh, come on, please. Oh well, so much for that intro. Wonderful, it does this right. It was playing just fine. I don't understand why. How I loaded. Some ad? Really? You gotta be kidding me. Wow. Well, Alaska got their free ad in. So, enough for the intro, I guess. Yeah, meantime, we're waiting for this to unfreeze thanks to an ad. All these stupid ads clogging up vital. There we go. Here, maybe we can have our music back. Thanks for the interruption, YouTube, whatever, frickin' ads, dude. Oh, goody gumdrops. Another ad. Remind me to just interrupt your business meetings with a big power outage. Quite a bit of snow we got up here, by the way. I've been digging people out since 4 o'clock this morning. Well, howdy, folks, and welcome back. I told you I'd be back with a sloppy intro, all interrupted. So nice to be interrupted. Anyways, let's get on over here to our solar report, start digging in, get this stuff done so we can get to the spiritual report. Thank you all for spending a little moment of your time to come join us here at this precious family, and hope everybody's hanging in there and doing okay. I know times are getting a little wacky now, so I have witnessed quite the spectacle of humanity lately. Anyways, let's get started. Here we are, March 2nd, 2024. Here's this event that we got a little peek at last night. You can see the object leaving and escaping with it. And then we have this event down below here. I'm expecting to have some glitches and delays tonight. We're having 80-mile-an-hour winds outside my house right now. So, but everything else would go fine except for the interruptions of the ads. Their commercialism is just sickening. Anyways, object in that one, an object in this one. Audience here has a trained eye to see these things. And actually, these are going so slow. Let's try to speed it up a little bit and really capture it. Because sometimes the motion picks it up better than just going frame by frame. Okay, so you get to see this one over here. You see all the plasma that it's gathered up in front of it right here. Boom, that's a lot. And then you see this little object moving out down here. It's got its little bow shock and everything to it as well. Let me slow this back down to our... Oh, all right, that's not it. That's it right there. And then we'll just pause right about there. Let me just get this just right so I can use the button. All right, here you can see this event unfolding. Our object right here, just draped in plasma, the instrument reacting to it, its magnetic field. There seems to be a second one up here, kind of interacting with the outer bands of the magnetic field of the first one. And then as we kind of click through this, see this one kind of jettison on out of there. Well, this one appears to be two of them. Let's zoom in on this frame right here. Because here we have what appears to be two independent ones. The instrumentation is reacting to like a double magnetic field with a bulge on each end and a little valley kind of in the middle. And you can see your two objects, their magnetic fields, the instrument reacting to it. I mean, it's a perfect display right there, what's going on. Very, very visible. I mean, you can see the sphere, the actual round curvature of it on this one, on the front side of it. So, two objects at a time right there coming out and creating one big bulge like that. Okay. Now, let me just get this right again. All right. And those two continue on out. Then we have this event underneath the occulter here. Zoom in on that one real quick for you guys. Please, Lord. Okay. You can see our round spheroid object right here, the V-shaped bow shock on the back side of it where plasma is still attached. I'll kind of slide it up a little bit more like that. Let's see if we can go boom. Okay, and maybe even a secondary. Oh, that was a ghost image, maybe. All right, now let's start that up real quick while it's right there. Okay, and then you can see that one. Let's come on over and see this one as well. All right, so even though it won't look like much activity on the sun when we look at other instruments, we can see otherwise here, and we can see that these things have been induced by these objects. And in this case, we have a little cup or a little deuce right there, a little 2-pack, one right next to the other, and then you can see their the little bulge in the instrumentation in between them there, which just indicates that there's two objects right there. It's just pretty clear as a bell right there. So, excuse me, that was our event today, March 2nd. All right, so 2 on this side, 1 down here. We had 3 objects pop out today. That one has this big teardrop tail on it. Okay, so now let's come on over to the solar ham. Hello, everybody. Michelle, Diana, Jimmy, all the good regulars are here. All right, you guys are chatting away. Perfect. All right, so zoom in on this. Okay, so as you can see here, we have here's today's. This is just a data dump or missing data or whatever. Here's our little spike, but that's all. It doesn't look like there was much activity at all today when you look at the GOES X-ray flux, but we know that there were 3 objects that interacted with the sun today and pulled plasma off, created CMEs. Okay, so just real quick, our C flare 95, M flare 25, X down to 1% chance right now, which is good. I like it when it's quiet, even though it's not a lot exciting to report on. I don't like too much excitement. All right. Anyways, we got our sunspots here. We're still watching this 3590, 95 here. It's beta gamma. It hasn't done much and it hasn't gone delta yet either. So for right now, it's pretty quiet. That's good. Over here at your KP index, you can see we had just one little hit real quick. It wasn't much, only KP2. But ever since this little event right here, where my pointer is, it's been relatively quiet. Okay, so that's good. We haven't been taking on a bunch of energy. And when you look at this aurora, do you see how it's very faint? It's barely there. That's the way I like to see the auroras. So let's open that up, please, Lord. I clicked on it. All right. Well, it's doing the circle thingy. We might have a little hesitation here during the show because of the intense winds going on outside my house. All right, so pretty faint right there. Let's even just, because here it's barely there up on this side, and there's just this very faint green spot here, very faint green spot there, hardly anything on this. And this is very faint. It might look a little brighter on the camera, but it's very quiet in the auroras, which is the way I like it. It's good. All you aurora photographers, learn how to paint and paint some auroras instead. We don't need stuff coming our way just for pictures of auroras. This is still the old article from March 1st. There goes 3590, departing the limb, finally. Let's come over here just to see what they're tracking on the tracker. Okay, you see this little blast kind of moving. Let's just pop it open real quick. What they're showing this little blast coming down, moving away. We're not even going to get sideswiped or clipped or anything from this one. I think there's still something on the way, though. Anyways, we'll see. But for right now, they're not tracking anything kind of coming our direction. The ones that we just watched kind of apparently came off in this direction, thankfully. Because we do not want to take a shot across the bow. All right, I'm going to open this one too. I want to see this. Well, never mind. Where is it going? Yeah, there it goes. I think it's the same one we saw last night. Yeah, it probably is. And since it's going to take so long, once it does pop up, we really don't even need to load the movie. Yeah, it's still, they're expecting impact around the 3rd. That'd be right around now. Okay, this time frame, the late on the 2nd, the early morning of the 3rd right here. So that'll be this time frame right around now, getting a little impact from, let's just see this one, because this one's different, I guess, from the other one. Probably the same from last night, but we went through all that. Let's just get her done. Okay, this one is clipping us. Just the edge of it right there. And that is just the very, very edge where there's hardly any kind of impact at all. So I don't think we're going to have too much to worry about here on the 3rd. Now, I see a question. Why are there the downward spikes on the flux chart? Let me go back to it. Is that we're missing data. It's like where the satellite gets eclipsed by the planet or something. It's eclipse season for this satellite apparently, and when it goes into eclipse season every day at the same time, and for some reason some spikes are different. They come way down, other ones are short and stubby, but if these were real readings, that would be reason for concern, because something I want to point out while we're addressing the subject here real quick. All right, on this chart, you got green that's your good level, right? M for caution, that's your cautionary level. Red for X, right? That's, dangerous, right? They should have corresponding going down. When we get into B range, it should be cautionary. And if this ever drops into A range, that's when everybody needs to take notice, okay? And these spikes do that. But apparently these are just eclipsing the satellite, and there's it can't get the data at that time or whatever. That's what I've been told, and that's what seems to be going on. It happens at a regular interval. The thing that's different about them is some are deeper, some are weird, some are really short, but then it goes away. It's funny how eclipse season happens to correlate with all the activity going on around the sun sometimes too. It's just kind of odd how they happen to match up at the same time of the year. Coincidence. There are no coincidences. Everything is purposed. All right, so with AR 3590 getting closer to limb, yeah, we read that last night. Let's move on. We got fish to fry. We got souls to save. We're on a mission from God. You guys ever see the Blues Brothers? And yeah, we're waiting on Google Chrome here for a second. Yeah, my internet's still up and working, so it's not that. Please, Lord, can we have this refresh? All right, meantime, while we're waiting on this to refresh, like right after last night's show, I went, had a cigarette, and laid down, and I don't get very much sleep because I feel pain in my sleep. So, anyways, we'll talk about it later. We're back to the article. Just trying to fill in that time is all, instead of dead air. All right, waiting for the CME. A CME expected to graze Earth's magnetic field on March 2nd did not arrive on time. NOAA forecasters believe it might still be coming. The overdue impact on March 3rd, that one we were just looking at, could spark auroras around the Arctic Circle. All right, and when we just looked at the auroras, they were very faint. So impact is not right now. Not currently. The giant sunspot still visible from Mars. We read that article last night. You can go ahead and read all about that if you want. You can come over. This is a good site. You guys should be visiting this every day too, just for updates, or don't, and just wait for me at the end of the day. All right, so not much going on. Just this overdue impact on March 3rd could spark, or is overdue. Okay. Now, let's get on over to the Schumann here. Look at this. Finally, some normal Schumann readings. There's a little scratch right there, but it ain't much. Got a little bit of weak there, but all in all, we have a good, solid green line there. That's good for the planet. That's good for everybody. It's good news. All right. I like to report on good news as well. This is what I like to see when I look at the Schumann. Is a strong magnetic field, a nice strong 7.83 hertz. Even if we have this other band glowing pretty good as well, as long as our 7.83 is normal and not, it is fluctuating. You see little weak spots, little stronger pulses and stuff, but overall is what I'm saying. It looks a lot better. All right, so that's good news to report as well. I like to report good news too. It's not all doom and gloom. There's some actually great news at the end of the show if you stick around for it. Right here, you saw this little weak part right in there. There's little stripe, but other than that, just this little area right here where it got a little weak, but our 7.83 hung in there pretty well through this weak zone right there. So that's good news as well. All right, let's get on over to the null school. Let's go to the null school, where everything is null and void. At the null school. All righty. See today's happy smiley face? Ah, you do. Okay. Yeah, he's staring at you. There's an eye here, eye there, a little nose right here, and a smile. Now, maybe if we position a little bit better. All right. So maybe that'll cheer you up a little bit. The have a nice day smile or whatever. In the meantime, our main vortex is getting kind of egg-shaped, a little oval shaped now. And also the where they converge here, the side of the opposite vortex is strengthening. You can see that effect going on here. Right there. All right. So this vortex that was all smashed down, conveyor belt, almost gone. We were about to write it off. Comes back to life again and now is gaining strength, while the other one seems to be losing strength. This one is actually bigger in size, in circumference, than this one is. So we got us another bipolar vortex going on here, split down the middle, kind of like the split face thing, with a little nose and a smile. Yeah. All right. Anyways, back to seriousness here. What's going on? This polar vortex rotating backwards across the United States, opposite the flow of the weather, causes that weather, the transition layer down below, to buckle and fight against that. And when we get to this transition layer, so there's your polar vortex, here's your transition layer. Okay, see this big dip it's caused? See this open area? Because air is fighting this way against it. So it causes this to buckle like that. Pull back to give you a little further back perspective. Look how it's going way up in there and then dropping across Alaska and down into California. That's your transition level. So you'll understand when we hit the upper jet here, why the upper jet's doing what it's doing. See the kind of correlation here a little bit? So let's see your upper jet stream. And the winds are howling. We had 190-mile-an-hour gust at the top of Palisades, which is the old Squaw Valley. 190-mile-an-hour gust. Not 90, not 100, 190. There was one at the top of Mammoth that at 168 was the last reading before it broke the device and ripped it off the top of the building. So we had 190-mile-an-hour winds and 168 until it ripped off the instrument. So its last reading was 160, 164, 168. So it was probably a lot higher than 168 if it ripped the instrument off of its mount. Anyways, here we are. You can see this just violent jet stream, very intense, coming right out of the Pacific and slamming California, and it's snowing. I've been around for a long time, and this is one of the more dense, heavier, faster accumulating snowfalls that I've seen in a while. in a long time. So it's putting down inches per hour. Very intense. And it's not over yet. Now, we go to our lower jet. You see this correlation still between the upper jet and the lower jet. The intensity is not in this lower one, as you saw in that last little cut. It's more directed on this one, still coming out from way up here. All right, so we got cold air that's coming out of the Arctic, getting even colder going across Alaska, dipping across the ocean, picking up moisture, and just slamming into California. It looks like a sickle, like a reaping sickle or something. Now, let's go down lower to the storm right here, and this is your flow. The storm's still just directing all the way from up here. Well, the center of rotation's up here by British Columbia, and it's taking everything and pulling it into here and sending it at California. All right, so there's your kind of out for the weather. Let me just do something real quick here. Let's take a peek out into the Pacific here. Yeah, this looks like it's going to continue. And with the upper polar jet getting stronger, fighting against this, I expect to see these get a little more deeper and higher, the deeper and higher troughs is what I'm trying to say. So we're going to still continue to see weather come at the West Coast for a while here. You see this flow going on. See this little gear right here. It's like a gear in a cog in a wheel directing stuff at that West Coast right there. So not a very good setup as far as flow. All right, so now we're here. Let's come on over to the particulates. Check on our never-ending sandstorm. It's just a permanent feature, I guess, now. But there is your sandstorm. Started back in November 20th, around there, 23rd of 2023, November of 23. That's what it was. So several months now, this has been ongoing. And they're not the only place anymore. We have China having their own sandstorm ongoing, long duration now. It would be one thing if they had a quick sandstorm that happened to, they had two at once for a minute. No, this one has been ongoing for a week now? Something like that. I'll have to go back into the calendar and track the date when this started. So we have two ongoing sandstorms. We also have the sandstorms that are kicking up here in Saudi Arabia. We've seen a couple of them come right towards Yemen here. The other day, there's a big wall of sand heading this way with big wind behind it, driving a big wall of sand towards Yemen. And then this sand gets lifted up into the, into the higher indices, into the higher jet streams and stuff, and gets spewed out all over around the world. And you see the green, that's sand too. It's just less intense. The white being more intense. If we come over here and I pull up this little chart, you see white being the more intense, and blue and green. See your green's right around there. So the sand is all around the world now too, making skies red, making the sun look red, making sunsets look weird. You know what I'm saying? Not so much over here. We're pretty light on the sand, but look, it's just continuing this very intense, out of season, months long sandstorm, still continuing, and not a peep on the news. Nope, not a peep or mention of it. You guys need to keep looking at the politics. Get this. What if, let's do some what ifs. Let's look ahead into the future for a second, and you see we're going to war, right? You think they're going to have an election in the middle of the war? They're going to find some reason to telling you, we're not even going to. All this is a waste of time. All this political hoo-ha is a waste of time. We probably won't even see an election. Anyways, we will see a sandstorm leading up to it, though. Moving on, we have to get over to the chemicals and get back to business here. I'll take the wind out of there. All righty, shall we dance? Does that look like a country divided or what? I'll tell you what, I saw some people that just don't speak English, that don't know how to drive, shouldn't be out on the roads, and are driving two-wheel drive over the pass, and they caused the accident because they didn't have chains on, right? Well, lo and behold, the dude had chains in his car. He was just too lazy to put them on. Yeah, laziness and ignorance caused almost the death of a bunch of people. That was crazy. Anyways, nation divided. Can you see it? Bleeding out on this side over here, clearing out on this side a little bit. You can see how the weather's picking this stuff up and dragging it around too. But as far as pressure, let's take a peek over here. This area and up here have all darkened in. That one is actually black. It's black on my screen. So we have a little increase in pressure, it looks like, especially on that half of the country. And look at this just solid line where it's divided right there into Canada. That's interesting too. Anyways, our pressure looks to have increased a little bit. Look down here at Cuba. Cuba is turning into a Java, a purple island here, huh? And look at Jamaica. Wow. Okay, so let's go check Hawaii even. All right, we still got it coming out of 3 islands. Before it was just Oahu, and then we started seeing some leaking out of the other islands right here, which is still ongoing. This plume looks a little bit darker. And now for the true test. China. It looks like a big old purple sore on the planet, doesn't it? It's very concentrated, very compact, organized. I would say a little bit of pressure is built up again in this region. I'll let you guys be the judges of that as well. Okay. It's a 1 to 10 chart, and this would be, 6.5 to 7. 10 would be if it was all black, right? The black that I showed you. So we still had ways to go before it could darken in more than this. So I would say 6.5, 7, leaving room for darkening, as well as leaving room below for dissipation. Anyways, over here, you can see right along the side of Saudi Arabia, right up in here, there's a bunch coming out there, pressure in that area. Look how Europe bleeding out, okay? The UK bleeding out. If you understand religions and you see some of these areas and how they're being marked, kind of makes sense. Anyways, it's not that. We also have these perforations in the crust, all right? And where this pressure builds up, this gas likes to come out. This being the fulcrum point, where we always come and check a little increase in pressure here. Let's see, it's getting black right in the middle of it a little bit there. Well, not picking up too well. And the dot next to it is very prominent, as well as the third one up here and this one. When we pull back now, those four, or those three at least, that grouping right there, stick out a little bit more than they usually do. So the pressure has increased. When we look down the coast here, you see solid purple through that region. And then as we go up, these are all individual sites. This is not like one plume blowing. These are all individual sites, perforations in the crust where this gas leaks out. Okay, now let's get on over to Java. Oh, you can see it sticking out like a sore thumb over here. Look at this. Can you see it sticking out like a sore thumb? Yeah. Yeah, we're going to put it at 7. Maybe, well, I would go even a little bit higher, but let's just stick with 7 right about now because the pressure, there's a lot of gas coming out of here. That means out of the volcanoes as well, but just seeping out of the ground as well. And when you see a lot of it seeping out, that means pressure down below is increased, pushing out more gas. So a little increase in pressure, it looks like. I'd say we were at, what, 6.5 the other day. I'd be putting it back up to about 7 now. Especially with some of the other spots we saw that had black in them as well. Okay, I got to throw that into the mix as well, into our equation as well. We're all done. We're all done. Let's get on over to the earthquakes now, and something a little interesting now. So, yesterday we saw our deep 5.8 to 5.96, possibly in this region, and a 4.5, a regular deep quake that we're used to seeing right next to it. So we had a little bit of energy at the surface due to those quakes. We saw some of it travel up through this way yesterday, but now look what's going on today. We have activity on this boundary line finally. We do get it, but it's been a little quiet for a while with all this activity and not having activity down here. So starting off, we have a 5.4 right here down at a depth of 10. That's that surface energy being released right there, right on the boundary. There's a 4.9. What do we do with the 9s here? You got it. So a 5 and a mid-range 5 right there on this plate boundary off the coast of Australia here. Now, up here by New Zealand, the catcher's mitt that Dutch likes to call it. And I agree. It looks like a catcher's mitt, and it actually looks like there's a hand pitching a ball in there because see the ball, see the hand right here? And then there's the glove. It's like he's almost, there's the thumb draping down. He's releasing the ball right at the mitt, right at the mouth of the mitt. Anyways, interesting. 4.4, but down at 376. So that's about halfway down. That's a half deep quake. We also have a 4.6 on land right there, down at 172. Okay, so this activity coming down the plate boundary, head right at the catcher's mitt. Look, catcher's mitt just caught 2 balls. All right, then just please, Lord, can we have control this again? Right below this is a 4.3 down at 98. So we've had a couple of some mid-range 4s right here and a couple of 5s up here. There's that energy that we've been looking for, to come down this way, finally being released. And when it releases down this way, look, all quiet in this region till you get way over here on land. We got a 4.9. What do? 5.0. I would never do that, but we're talking about the USGS here, and I'm trying to keep it as realistic as possible here. 4.6, 147.7. Don't need to explain why we do that either. I think everybody knows or understands. Now, over here on the island of Java, okay, we have a 4.7. Possibly a little bit bigger because they never They always downgrade this stuff. Right next to the sun to straight, right here where Krakatoa is. Krakatoa is the one that darkened the planet for years back in the day. All right. That's the one we don't want to see go off. If that thing goes off, it's lights out for a long time. Right next to it, though, we got volcanoes here on Java, and now we have a 4.7. Now, this is not on the plate boundary. Notice it's back up here on the island, underneath the island here. It's onshore, but it's down at 61. It's not right at the surface. So this is a subterranean like push underneath the volcanic system under here. Magma is traveling around, little bulge comes up. There's probably little tubes that run up around through here, connecting volcanoes possibly. And you'll see a little burp in pressure, and it caused this 4.7 down at 61, but on land, just right next to the volcanoes. I think that's Semiru right there. Yeah. Okay, so we've had volcanic activity going on here on Java, and now the pressure underneath, we saw it, the purple island of Java. Now we're getting 4.7, possibly upwards of, 4.8 or 9. So our relief valve, where a lot of pressure gets relieved right here, is doing its job, because as you go up, look how quiet the energy never traveled past this. It's all being absorbed and dissipated right here. There's nothing up through here, nothing at the fulcrum point. Not until you get over to this fulcrum point do you see your 4.3. And usually we have 2 quakes around this region. And we don't. We only have 1. And it's a 4.3 down at 152. That's not even a surface quake either. That's more something going on down here a little bit. Backing out. Nothing around the Gobi Desert right now except the sandstorm. Up here, though, they did have a 4.3 here up in Mongolia. All right, so activity is still kind of creeping around China, that area. Coming on over here to Japan now. Off the plate boundary, we have a 4.8. It's down at 158. There's a little deep trench right in that area. You see this ridge here and a plateau on that side. So there's a little deep, not a trench, but a deeper area on the ocean floor. And down under that deeper area, you got your 4.8 down at 157, getting up here closer into Japan, a 4.5 at 23. And then here we go again, right outside of Tokyo, a 4.6. This possibly a little bit bigger. We should ask the Japanese what they detected there. So we've seen a couple of quakes rattle this area lately. So it's, a point of weakness when when energy is looking for the point of least resistance. It's one of those points again forming instead of on this side here where this island is. Remember we saw our big quake in the swarm over here? Instead of happening over on this plate, it's on this plate because this is the boundary in between 2 of them. So this finger-shaped plate that comes down here, peninsula type looking plate, right in the middle, right at the towards the tip here, right outside of Tokyo. So we're going to have to watch that spot, especially with Tokyo being right there. All right, nothing else up here. Look how quiet it is. Whatever energy made it over, probably very weak, 3.7, 4.4. Look how quiet it is in the Wanda Fuca. We had just a little bit here, fulcrum point energy, 2.7, which is nothing. I'm going to put on all magnitude real quick, just for quake swarm here at the geysers. Yeah, still releasing some energy here at the geysers. That's good. Not a bunch, but still a quake swarm. This is tiny little 1.8, nothing. Little activity in the Bay Area, 1.5, nothing. Little small twos going down the San Andreas. Yeah, still 2 energy on both sides. Okay, so pretty quiet through there. You see our little flurry over here at Texas. Here at the Cocos Plate, we had a 4.3 down at 95. Our regular activity over here, it's always the same. When something happens for real over here, we'll report on it, but this is their typical activity over here. All right, Fulcrum Point quakes, boom, 4.4 down 259, and another 4.4 down at 166. So pretty quiet. A couple of mid 4s there at the Fulcrum Point, but relatively quiet there. Here's some energy, 5 energy at 38 out here at this Fulcrum Point out by the volcano here in the South Sandwich Islands. Oh, we also have tip of South Africa, 3.8. See this big mountain? No. Down at 9. That's a pretty shallow quake. Pretty odd quake right there. Diverse quake, you would say. Here at the Owens Fracture again, they had a 6 here, I think, yesterday. Now we're seeing a 5 here. And then over here, 4.1 down at 93.8. We need to see energy being released around here, or it's just going to be a big violent event. But otherwise, pretty quiet out there. Just our basic little routine earthquake report. Little change down here we witnessed there, but nothing to really write home about. Now, let me X out of some of these and try to pull up the volcano report here. Yeah, because it'll open a lot easier if I take out some of these pages, eat up too much. And it should pop up here in just a second while I take a sip. A little bit of activity there in Hawaii too, but nothing too major. All right. As soon as I can get control of the page. No, I don't need a purse. Thank you. Okay, shall we dance? Let's do it. Ibu. Reported 7,000-foot blast today. Luatolo, Lesser Sunda Islands reported a 6,000-foot blast today. Semeru on the island of Java, 14,000 feet. Semeru, Java, 14,000 feet. A lot of pressure coming out of the ground there in Java. Merapi, just across the Sunda Strait on the other island of Sumatra right there, is pushing 18,000 feet. And that's a newer volcano. I mean, it hopped on the list a few months back, but before that, it was never even around. This was like a dormant volcano, just woke up out of nowhere and has been kicking out blasts ever since. And now it's pushing 18,000 feet at Sumatra. Popocatépetl, 21,000 feet. Sabancaya was so high I was unable to detect. No. Now let's get into the second here because that was already peeking into the third. And let's dance to this song as well. Shall we? Santa Guido. Oh, we don't need to read them all off. They're going to be read off. Recahenas Met Office has recently released an update hazard assessment map. Blah, blah, blah. An intense swarm of small earthquakes has been occurring east of and Reykjanes Peninsula. The oscillation of the ground surface commenced at about 1600, telltale signs that magma had continued to intrude and push, get it? Push from the bottom side up its way into deeper rock layers. It's getting deep. It's getting closer. Actually, Don, under the sea, the volcanoes going on under the sea, you wonder about those. You do not want to know. It makes the activity on the surface look tame. The activity that's going on the ocean floor, I really don't want to talk too much about it. They'll probably do something, whatever. But yeah, we have more activity going on under the oceans because there's more land. There's more surface under the oceans than there is above water. So yeah, not good as well. Anyways, pressure building here. That was a great question too, by the way, Don. I love your way of thinking. Back to Sakurajima here, 7,000 feet. Ibu, 8,000 foot blast. Explosive activity continues. Warned about a volcanic ash plume that rose up to an estimated 8,000 feet altitude. Flight level 8, okay. Luatolo, 6,000 feet. Here we go, Semaru. Another 14,000 foot blast. Marapi, 18,000 yesterday. Popo, 20,000 yesterday. Santa Guido, 14. Fuego, 15. Nevada del Ruiz, 21. Sangay, probably 26 or somewhere in the 20s. Sabancaya, probably in the 20s as well, unable to detect. So, except for some that we didn't get the heights on, a lot of tall blasts, right? We're seeing these blasts getting higher and higher with the increase in pressure. Yeah, the water temps go up. All kinds of bad stuff going on in the ocean. Yes, the ocean crust is thinner too. You guys are geniuses over here. I love this audience. You guys pay attention. I should give you guys straight A's in this class. There's no spit wads and paper airplane. Hey, who threw that paper airplane? All right. All done there. All done there. Let's move on to our already in progress model. I'll just leave it right there so you can see the little blue line is about to restart here. I'll let that play for a second. I'm just kind of scrolling through the chat, see if there were any other questions. I thought I heard another one. And it was this one right here. Yeah, that was the one. All right. So, every guys, feel free to ask questions. I don't bite. I might nibble a little bit, but I don't bite. Okay. So, I heard you guys laugh at that. That's funny. All right. So, here we go. The nighttime of March 2nd. And quite the intense snow going on in the Sierras, going over into Nevada and affecting us as well. We got quite a bit of snow, and let's just not go there right now. Anyways, current conditions, the nighttime of March 2nd, going into the morning hours is still ongoing severe weather still. Through the noontime into tomorrow night, still continuing into tomorrow night there, then dissipating by the morning of March 4th right there. We get a little break. Then by noon, actually, that was the morning right there, the noon, we get a little break around this time. By convection, another front starts to move in. Not a quick break at all. In Northern California, getting hammered again. That'll be the morning of the 5th, noontime. Meanwhile, we got this coming up. You see, we were talking about this thing reaching back down, kind of a backward storm, and pulling up moisture again up into Mississippi, Louisiana, or Alabama area, Louisiana as well. So morning, noon, convection. The nighttime of this 5th, see up in here in Georgia, watch out, you guys. Morning time of the 6th. This is where it gets scary because this is the morning time when people are still sleeping, just barely waking up, and we got severe weather there. Morning of the 6th. Going into the noontime, convection on the 6th. Watch out for convection here on the 6th. Pennsylvania, you can see tornadoes. Oh, look at that. Oh. So going into the nighttime, this convection continues and goes nocturnal. And look where it goes nocturnal at. I don't need to say the places. You can take a peek for yourself. Yeah. That'll be the nighttime of the 6th, you guys. New York, Long Island, everybody, Pennsylvania. You guys are going to have your butts handed to you again. Really? I should just say asses handed to them, huh? Okay, they're about to have their asses handed to them again. There we go, into the morning hours of the 7th. So back up just a bit. This is convection, when cloud tops are supposed to, stop convecting. It keeps convecting through the night into New York City, Long Island. The morning time goes right up through Connecticut, all the way up into Maine here. Severe ice storm, snow, tornadoes, nor'easter, all at the same time kind of effect there. On the morning of the 7th, they're going to wake up to that. Then noontime, still continuing. Convection, the nighttime. Now, as we move offshore by the nighttime of the 7th, we saw this blossom and come up here, right? This plume right here, moisture, cold air. They see each other, they're eyeballing each other, they ask each other's names, now they're about to kiss. Mwah! All right. They kiss at convection of March 7th. So convection, after convection here, watch out, because at nighttime, you're going to have these pop-ups in the center of the low, as well as down here in the tail on the border of possibly there by Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, Texarkana, going into Mississippi through the morning hours of the 8th. Noontime the 8th. Convection. So by the end of convection here, this is going to be a pretty serious event if it unfolds like this. And we're not too far out. Okay. Look, we're at the 8th. So this is going to start to congeal and come together like this the closer we get. So you people out there in the South, it might not be this exact pocket, this lineup. It could shift a little bit, south, north, anything. But everywhere in this vicinity, beyond your toes, okay? Be aware. Don't lose track. March 8th, around that time. There'll be days leading up to it still. But then as it goes nocturnal, geez, man. It's already severe in the morning, blossoms during the day, not at convection, goes nocturnal right there. In the morning hours is still severe the morning of the 9th with a band of ice right in between it right there. That'll be the noontime, still severe weather. The convection of the 9th going into the nighttime of the 9th. So severe weather in that thing for that whole period for 2 days there. This is going to be another one of these monster storms again, going the morning of the 10th, noontime, very intense snow here in Maine, possibly severe weather there again, snow NATO, no thunder snow. Nighttime the 10th, morning, and then over and over again over here as well. Morning of the 11th, noontime, convection, nighttime, morning of the 12th, noon, convection, nighttime, morning of the 13th, noon, convection, nighttime, morning of the 14th, noon, convection, nighttime. See how this cold air mass and this, they see each other from across the room, go over there, next thing you know, and we're making babies. Morning of the 15th, right there, Oklahoma. Noontime the 15th, convection. Wow. Nighttime blossoming again, nighttime here, possibly across that region. The night of the 15th, even to the morning hours again, catching people off guard. Noon the 16th, convection again there, nighttime the 16th. Morning of the 17th, noon, convection, nighttime. Look at this again. Morning of the 18th. Oh, morning of the 18th. That'll be happy hangover day right there. Because the morning of the 18th, the 17th was the night before. So waking up hungover to that. And that will be then noontime the 18th, convection. And that was all she wrote. They didn't make it past convection of the 18th. Their boss called up and said, "Hey, you're supposed to work today. Where are you?" "Oh, man, I went out last night. It was St. Patrick's Day." Well, that's the end of that. Wow, look how that storm split up into two. When it came through as one big storm and split in half, and one went up here and the other one went. I'll let that run one more time there. Let's just get a tad bit of that ball up there so you can see where we're at. Now, I think it's this storm. Watch how it comes, splits into this storm and that storm right there. Wow. So we're in for a crazy weather pattern. This is transition time. We're in March now. We're heading towards spring, and this is the end of winter. And the closer, every day we're getting closer to spring. So we're in transition, and that's when we get our very active weather. And it's just going to be a wild ride for a minute. Welcome to March Madness. Okay, so we can get rid of that. Let's go to the spiritual report tonight. So, thank you, everybody, for being patient until we get to this spot. I know some of you are waiting. They don't care about all the solar stuff. They just get to the spiritual report, Brian. There we go. Without the spinny circle thing, please. Thank you. All right. Pretty strange how this is what I look like with my book light shining on my face when I'm reading to you guys. If there were somebody sitting across from me, like the screen right here is looking back at me, this is what I would look like with the book light shining on my face when I'm reading to you guys here. So let's get set up here. Get my book light. You guys get settled in. Go grab your hot chocolate, your blanket, your cat, your friend, whatever it is that you like to do. I know some of you guys are doing some pretty cool things to this reading now. You're finding the peace. You're finally figuring out who you are and who I am. Okay, let there be light and sound and some to drink. Aim the book light at my head. Okay, let's see. Where was the first one we'll start? Okay, that's the closer. So backwards from that is to this, the front. Sometimes I work forward and reverse. So, nothing can separate you from my love. Let this divine assurance trickle through your mind and into your heart and soul. Now let's take a break here. While you're thinking about that, let me get this out of there. We forgot to take a few deep breaths, didn't we? So, everybody, let's do a couple of deep breaths here, all the way in through your nose. Hold it for 5 to 10 seconds, however long you like to. Slowly exhale, either out your mouth or through your nose, doesn't matter. Just inhale through your nose, all the way, full lungs. Hold it, and then exhale. I'm going to do it a couple of times myself here. Sometimes I like to moan or grunt or whatever on the exhale. Helps relax. So, all the way in. Let's crack my neck a little bit. Yeah. Okay, one more time. Helps slow your heart rate down. Helps get you centered and focused and relaxed. Now we're going to start all over again. I repeat, nothing can separate you from my love. Let this divine assurance trickle through your mind and into your heart and soul. Whenever you start to feel fearful or anxious, repeat this unconditional promise. Nothing can separate me from your love, Jesus. Most of mankind's misery stems from feeling unloved. In the midst of adverse circumstances, people tend to feel that love has been withdrawn and they have been forsaken. This feeling of abandonment is often worse than the adversity itself. So be assured that I never abandon any of my children, not even temporarily. Be assured that I never abandon any of my children, not even temporarily. I will never leave you or forsake you. My presence watches over you continually. I have engraved you on the palms of my hands. I also want to thank you guys right now. I want to thank you, each one of you, even in the replays, because this is still present moment. I want to thank you for the sacrifice of your time. It's a most precious commodity. In this action-addicted world, few of my children take time to sit quietly in my presence. But for those who do, blessings flow like streams of living water, don't they? I, the one from whom all blessings flow, am also blessed by our time together. This is a deep mystery. Do not try to fathom it. Instead, enjoy being with me. Glorify me by delighting in me. Enjoy me right now and forever. Oh, yeah, this one. Okay, so watch your words diligently. Words have such great power to bless or to wound. When you speak carelessly or negatively, you damage others as well as yourself. Got that? When you speak carelessly or negatively, not only do you damage others, you're damaging yourself. This ability to verbalize is an awesome privilege, granted only to those I created in my image. You need help in wielding this mighty power responsibly. Though the world applauds quick-witted retorts, my instructions about communication are quite different. Be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. Ask my spirit to help you whenever you speak. I have trained you to pray, help me, Holy Spirit, before answering the phone, and you have seen the benefits of this discipline. Again, ask my spirit to help you whenever you speak. I have trained you to pray, how to pray, help me, Holy Spirit. And you can do this before answering the phone. You got one of those phone calls that's coming in and you are dreading that call, because I know you guys, I know you so well. Don't let that dread, don't let that get to you. Okay? Ask my spirit to help you before speaking, before answering the phone, before making a decision. I'm constantly doing it, and I find the moment I forget and I slip and I didn't say, "Hey, Lord, could you help me with the groceries getting inside," or whatever, it's when the bag breaks. And I realize, if I'd have just taken that 1 second for the one little thing, it probably would have gone a lot smoother. Anyways, it's important that we get this stuff down. So you guys understand that. Okay. I want you to So when you do this, when you've kind of picked this up, you're always asking, help me, Holy Spirit, or help me, Jesus. You have seen the benefits of this discipline. You guys have in this audience. I know you have. Okay. Now, simply apply the same discipline to communicating with people around you. Ask my Holy Spirit, help me when you are speaking to other people or communicating with other people around you. If they are silent, pray before speaking to them. And it doesn't have to be out loud, just something quick in your head. All right, help me, Holy Lord. Help me, Holy Spirit. I don't know what to say sometimes. Just as long as you're thinking that, it's going to help you. If they are, if they are silent, pray before speaking to them. If they are talking, pray before responding. These are split-second prayers, but they put you in touch with my presence. In this way, your speaking comes under the control of my spirit. As positive speech patterns replace your negative ones, the increase in your joy will amaze you. Yep. So, hold my hand and walk joyously with me through each day. Together, we will savor the pleasures and endure the difficulties it brings. Again, let me say this. Together, we will savor the pleasures and endure the difficulties. Be on the lookout for everything I have prepared for you. Stunning scenery, bracing winds of adventure, cozy nooks for resting when you're weary, and much more. I am your guide as well as your constant companion. I know every step of the journey ahead of you, all the way to heaven. You don't have to choose between staying close to me and staying on course. Since I am the way, staying close to me is staying on course. I'm going to repeat that. I just saw light bulbs going off. You guys are like, wait, huh? You don't have to choose between staying close to me and staying on course. You guys are so worried about staying on course. Since I am the way, staying close to me is staying on course. Ta-da! Pretty simple stuff. As you focus your thoughts on me, I will guide you carefully along each day's journey. Don't worry about what's around the next bend. Just concentrate on enjoying my presence and staying in step with me. Come back here, you. There we go. Sorry. So, you don't have to choose between staying close to me and staying on course. Since I am the way, staying close to me is staying on course. So, as you focus your thoughts on me, I will guide you carefully along each day's journey. Don't worry about what is around the next bend. Just concentrate on enjoying my presence and staying in step with me. And it seems to be working for a lot of you. I'm so thankful. Just so happy for you. Okay. Now, picking up on the next thing here. So come eagerly into my ardent presence, inviting me to satisfy you with my unfailing love. The best time to seek my face is in the morning, soon after you awaken. So, connecting with me early sets the tone for the rest of each day. My endless love is immensely satisfying. It helps you know that you are treasured and significant. It reminds you that together you and I can handle the circumstances of each day. It reminds you that together you and I together can handle the circumstances of each day. Knowing that you are forever loved energizes you and gives you courage, the courage to persevere through those difficulties. Doesn't it? Doesn't this stuff bring you guys courage to persevere through these difficulties that we're living in? It does for me, and I want that for you. Encountering my loving presence in the morning equips you to sing for joy and to be glad. Think about the astonishing privilege of meeting the one who is King of Kings and Lord of Lords in the privacy of your own home right now. Rejoice that your name is written in the Lamb's book of life with indelible ink. Anybody that hears my voice, I want you to rejoice. Your name is written in the Lamb's book of life with indelible ink. Time to enjoy my presence. Speak or sing praises. Read scriptures and pray. Delight yourself in the wondrous truth that nothing in all creation can separate you from my love. I am your living Lord, your rock, your Savior God. Spend time pondering my greatness and my endless commitment to you. You live in a culture where vast numbers of people are leery of making commitments. Even those who say, I do, often change their minds later and leave. I, however, am your forever friend and the eternal lover of your soul. You are utterly secure in my love. Instead of focusing on troubles in your life and in your world, remember who I am. Not only am I your living Lord and unchanging rock, I am also God, your Savior. Because I am the everlasting God, my death on the cross for your sins saves you to the uttermost. So you don't have to wait. So you don't need to worry that I'll stop loving you because your performance isn't good enough. Okay, let me repeat this. You guys are just, you're getting it. You're so close. So you don't need to worry that I'll stop loving you because your performance isn't good enough. It is my goodness and my righteousness that keep you secure in my love. Let my unending commitment to you be a comfort as you journey through this trouble-filled world. Someday soon, you will live with me in paradise. Kind of doing that already. No, I don't want to close with that one. Where's the second to last one, Lord? Oh, duh. Okay, back to concentration now. So, it's important. It's important that you wait in my presence. There are so many benefits, spiritual, emotional, and physical, to spending time with me. Yet many of my children think this is a luxury they cannot afford. Even though they crave rest and quietness, they continue in their fast-paced lifestyle. I want you to arrange your priorities in such a way that you can have some restful times with me. I will refresh your soul and strengthen you for the journey that lies ahead. Be of good courage. Living in this very broken world requires bravery on your part. And since bravery is not the default setting in most human hearts, you will need my help to be strong and courageous. In spite of all the alarming events in the world, you don't have to be terrified or discouraged. Discipline yourself to fix your thoughts on me again and again and again. When you need to find comfort in my promise to be with you wherever you go. Continue your efforts to be courageous and look to me for help. I will strengthen your heart. Guys' heart feeling a lot stronger than when we started this, huh? I'm really working this stuff right now as we do this. Miracles are taking place right now as we speak. So, in closing, this is very important, you guys. So focus. Let me get a sip here. Got to read this just right. It's important for those with ears that hear this, understand it correctly. Okay. Never underestimate the power of prayer. People who are feeling discouraged and hopeless often say something like, "There's nothing left to do but pray." The implication is that that is their last resort, and a feeble one at that. Nothing could be further from the truth. I created mankind with the ability to communicate with me. Since I am the eternal, immortal, invisible King of the universe, this is an astonishing privilege. Even when the human race became tainted with sin through Adam and Eve's disobedience, I did not withdraw this glorious privilege. And when I live in your world as a flesh and blood man, I rely heavily on praying. I was keenly aware of how continuously I needed this help. Persistent, heartfelt prayer will bless not only you, but also your family, friends, your church, and even your country. Ask the Holy Spirit to help you pray effectively. Find others to join you in this venture of seeking my face in humility and repentance. Beseech me to heal your land. The power of prayer, never underestimate it. A lot of people don't see their answered prayers. They get answered, and it's just like, oh, that was part of my plan. I was planning on things going that way anyway. And they forget that they prayed about it and that it was an answered prayer, and it kind of goes unrecognized. And they're missing out. They're missing out when they didn't see it. Oh, wait a second. I prayed about that earlier today and it happened. It actually came true. Well, that's answered prayer. It really works. The power of prayer. You guys created this way, okay? To keep in communication with me. You might not like the response sometimes, but you pray for money, you end up with a job, right? All right, so I think that's about it for tonight. Actually, you know what? Before we wrap this up, let's just go to the chat here, thank some people, look for some questions. While I'm going through this, it gives a slight delay, a chance for you guys to type in some questions or just send any kind of message. I see a thank you from Surfer Girl, Michelle Marshall, sending love. Sean James. Tiger's Eye was here. Jimmy Satterfield. Oh, you guys are doing awesome. Yeah, that's what I thought I heard. Okay, cool. I'm going to be listening. Brian's voice is very calming to me. Good. I see a comment. I'm going to be listening. Brian's voice is very calming to me. That's what we're trying to do here. I'm trying to bring some calm to you guys. There's some other creators, YouTube creators, that I enjoy their presentation and I enjoy their voice. And there's certain morning procedures I have to go through, and I like to listen to a certain person at a certain time in the background, right? It's soothing. And I realized, you know what? I'm probably doing the same thing for my listeners, for my viewers, for my followers. So that's why we're doing this a little bit more now, a little longer readings, a little more in depth, is so you guys can feel my voice, hear me, know that I'm a real man in the flesh, walking amongst you, the Word made flesh, dwelling among you. Okay? I showed you the birthmark that's on the side of my chest. I was alive, I was stabbed in the side and died, and now I'm alive again. Okay? I've shown you some of the EVPs saying my name. It's all because it's true. I got Marian angels showing up in my house all the time on my video cameras. I've shown you that stuff. So, hear my voice. Take that soothing from it, okay? That peace. Find that peace. I'm your best friend, okay? I fight like hell for you. Tougher than any Marine or SEAL. They will die and give up when they die. I die and I don't give up. I come back for more for you. That's how much I love you guys. And once you understand me and you trust me, you will have miraculous things. I want to say the term magical things happen in your life, but magic is a lot of people associate that with dark, the dark arts or whatever, but magical things, things that you never dreamed of start happening to you just because you believed me, just because you trusted me. And when you look around out there, who can you trust? When I make a mistake on a report, I'll admit to it. And hey, I'm happy to make mistakes. Most people won't admit or take responsibility. So look at my character. That's what the whole Bible was about, was Jesus's character. So you would recognize him by his character when he returns. Because you don't know what his face looks like, but you recognize him by his character. Well, now you see the face, and now you hear the character. And you're going to be hearing my voice some more. And those of you who find it soothing, it's perfect. You are on the right path. Some people find my voice irritating, scary. They're afraid of my voice. Other people find it soothing. And it's because, just like any person, I have the capacity to be nice, compassionate, loving. But if you get on my bad side and on my wrong side and you do me wrong, well, then there's gonna be hell to pay. So just like anybody else, a humble, everyday guy, but God is a person with emotions. He's a man who likes to walk around in the flesh. That's why this whole creation is here. So he can walk around in the flesh, hanging out with his peeps. And I love my peeps. You guys are awesome. I love you. I miss you. I miss you. We're all going to be reunited here soon, okay? So hang in there. Keep praying for each other. Pray for endurance and patience, tolerance, acceptance. And just know there's nothing that can take you out of my hand. All right? You are safe when you believe me. Other than that, I love you all. I miss you all. God bless you all. Until my next show, I will be back. I am already back, and I'm so happy for you guys. So share this. It blesses you as well as the person you share it with. It also blesses me, and it gives glory to God. You can't go wrong. It's a win, 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 win. And we just keep winning and winning and winning all the way to the finish line for victory. Okay? I will not stop shy of victory for you guys. I love you all. Until my next show, I'll be back. I'm already back. Can't you tell? Oh, man. Can't you tell?